Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. So, today's the day that we meet Kai, whatever his last name that I can't remember. And Trina made a very interesting impression, okay? First, she spills water on his new shirt. And then when she goes back and she talks to Jocelyn, and Jocelyn's like, "Oh, you don't know who that is? That's Kai so and so. He's a football guy." And da, 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 da. I was like, okay, you could have just stopped at he is the star of the football team. You're doing a little bit too much fangirling. Then she gets pissed off because this is the guy who has not been showing up for any of the assignments, leaving all the work on her. So she pretty much kind of gives him the death glare, and then she goes back over there, and here's my thing. She is pissed, right? And so she goes over there and she's like, you're the reason why my GPS is going down, and you haven't been showing up for the assignments and this, that, and the third. And like she really comes at him with some energy, like she knows him. And here's my thing. When she finds out he doesn't even know what class he's in, because his tutor has probably been, well, his tutor actually is the person that's picking out his classes and is most likely doing his homework, except for the time where he's needed to be doing this art stuff that he's not doing. So she's pissed off. She comes at him, my opinion, you know what I'm saying? Like, you up here, you might want to bring this a little bit down here, right? And it's been a while since I've been in college, but I do think that it's unfair that the teacher is actually, giving her a lot of demerits and stuff like that, or whatever, like lowering her GPA or her grade because of some other guy that's not even showing up. So while she's all upset with him, I'm like, you really need to sit there and kind of take that energy with the teacher, not so much as him. On top of the fact that you already messed up his shirt, then she goes on and she's like, she pretty much downplays what he does. And I'm like, okay, so you're going to insult what I do, spill a bunch of stuff on my shirt, and come at me with some crazy energy like I know you. Yeah, this conversation is going to end well. And then after that, she leaves. And, Kai feels bad. And, the other guy, he's just there. He's like, hey, listen, you don't got time for all that stuff. You getting us to the playoffs and everything like that. So, like, just don't even, like, give a second word or a second thought or whatever. But he feels bad that, he's messing up her grade. And also, it seems like he needs this class, so he needs to know what's going on. He doesn't even have access to his emails. I'm like, damn, bro. But she explains to him. Jocelyn explains to Trina, like, yo, that's just how it is with these sports guys or whatever. They practically do damn near whatever they want, which is not good, obviously, but still. So Liz and Laura comes to see Portia, and Portia is basically saying that Lulu is turning around. She's starting to get a lot better with the transplant and everything like that, and everything seems like it's on the up and up. And they talk about where she's going to be staying long term, and long story short, it's going to be Turner Woods, because the other place was clearly not doing their job, and I think the only reason why I actually kind of liked it a little bit was because it was a win for Portia. I can't imagine what it's like to sit there and lose a patient, and she has a lot of investigating to do. Like, she needs to sit there and find out what happened. How did this happen? She is a very healthy woman for the most part, and stuff like this doesn't just happen. It does happen, but she wants to make sure that she wants to get to the bottom of it. So, actually getting some good news was kind of nice for a change for her. Yeah, I don't exactly really like Portia, but you know, I think she kind of deserves to win in this sense. Um, After that, Lucky goes to visit Liz and talking about Sam and Lulu and everything. And then he's like, all right, so, yeah, I'm going back to Africa. You know, there's really nothing for me to, me to do here and stuff like that. I was supposed to come and save Lulu. I was supposed to come and save Lulu, but, I can't really do that. So, I mean, what's really here for me, pretty much? I mean, he doesn't say that, but in a sense, that's kind of what he's saying. And I'm like, bro, did you forget that you actually have a son? And so Liz is pissed off, and she about to walk away, and Lucky grabs her like, hey, you knew this what I was coming here for. And I'm like, so you just gonna, like, it's like, what do you expect her to do? You want her to sit there and say, oh yeah, no, that's great. Give you her blessing or whatever to leave, knowing that Aiden's gonna be disappointed. Like, I don't know. I'm not really feeling this rewrite of Lucky just being very comfortable, just leave and be like, he's in good hands, pretty much. Like, well, he doesn't have any. You know what I'm saying? Like, she doesn't have a choice. You know. So it just comes down to, yeah, you're a really shitty father. You know. Laura's not going telling Lulu to fight and wake up and stuff like that. Like Sam died, and we need to sit there and make sure that this sacrifice counts. It's getting very hard for me to come here every time to sit there and see her in this bed. So at some point she's gonna wake up. Jason talks to Danny, and it's a very complicated situation because Danny's not sure where they're gonna live. Like right now, they're at the Quartermains, but you know, even with Rocco, it's like he wants to sit there and live with Rocco. That's kind of like his brother in a sense, even if they're not related. Um, and wants to live with Scout too, but that's different dads and everything like that, so that's not gonna happen. He wants to sit there and live with Jason, but Jason's like, Sam would want Danny and Scout to be together. And plus there's Alexis and everything. So you know what I'm saying? Like it's a very tricky situation. Robert and Diane. Diane makes this very simple. She comes in, she gives some small talk or whatever, like, hey, I haven't really seen you in a while, what's going on, and stuff like that. And she just gets right to the point. It's like, I'm not going to be a consolation prize. And I know that you still love Holly. And this just does not work for me. And that's fine, you know? I want you to sit there and be happy. I want you to do you. And he keeps not there trying to fight it. Well, he keeps trying to say something. She just cuts him off at every point. And I get why she did what she did. She's like, this is not going to work. And, you need to sit there and be with somebody that you actually love. And I'm not going to sit there and be a consolation prize. And it's one of those things where it's like, there's a knee-jerk reaction from the other person. Like, well, let me explain, or I didn't mean to hurt you or anything like that. And she just cut through all that shit. Which on one hand, I appreciate. On the other hand, it's like, if you're going to sit there and do most of the talking, you could just did this to a text. Like, we're face to face. You're not even sitting there giving me an option of saying anything. And that's literally what it is. It's just her talking for like a good 3 minutes, and then he just nods and walks off. Now, yesterday, I was sitting there saying that, Holly's kind of out of pocket for trying to hit up Brennan or the WSB for money for a situation that she got herself into. And maybe I didn't pay good enough attention to it, because she explained it today with Anna that her whole connection to the crime syndicate was because she was doing freelance work for the WSB. So, it's when Brenda's like, hey, listen, I can give you like a 1-ticket train out to nowhere so you can disappear. And it was like they pretty much kind of hung you out to dry. So I can understand In this case, I did make an error. Like she does have reason to be like, hey, listen, I did this job for you, and they want their money. You gonna help me out, or you just gonna sit there and let me get killed? And this is the reason why she got involved with Sitwell, because she realized that they were not gonna sit there and help. Um, she's still a shitty mother, but I understand her in the situation. And long story short, she's just like, I want to make sure that Robert's okay, so you need to look after him. Then she gets to the plane, and she's calling Sasha, realizing that her number's unblocked, so that's something, I guess. Felicia got through in some sense. And then she calls Robert, leaves a voicemail. No, she calls Robert and she talks to Robert. Robert's actually at the airstrip. And, long story short, Robert wants to go with her. And Holly's like, well, what about our daughter? Too much time has passed. I want to sit there and go on an adventure with you. And part of me's like, what? Too much time has passed. I think this is more about maybe the actor leaving than too much time has passed. Because part of that would feel kind of out of pocket, even from Sasha's point of view. Mom Dukes was not around. Robert just found out that he has a daughter, and he would rather go globe trotting with Holly than get to know her own daughter, his own daughter. Like, there's something that's just kind of out of pocket. It's like, damn, what because she's not Robin. It's just, she's fine. She's old enough. Too much time has passed by. Like, I cannot be the only person sitting there looking at that scene being like, what? But again, I think this is more about the actor just leaving the show, and, it is what it is. He did sit there and say, they'll eventually come around to sit there and see Sasha, but, come on. Part of me's sitting there looking at it and being like, bro, you're kind of up there in age. I don't know how long this adventure is gonna be, but like you making it seem like this is gonna be a goodbye. Like, and also another thing, I didn't know he was actually gonna sit there and leave with her, because I'm like, bro, you choosing to, you could have just settled down with Diane, as opposed to sitting there just having this whole thing with Holly and stuff. Like, bro, you too old for this. You too old for this. To be sitting there trying to wait and hope that she's going to change her mind. So apparently this is the only option that he could sit there and choose. So okay. I feel like that's about it. Oh, there's a point where Diane is sitting there talking to Anna about, ever really getting over Robin, and she's all torn up about it, and I'm kind of just like, really? Like, even after she breaks up and he just leaves and everything like that, she's all crying, and I'm just like, really? Robert? I know this is a soap opera and they tend to over exaggerate things, and I get that part, but I'm also just like, part of me just feels like this is a little kind of melodramatic. Like, they had some sort of great epic love story. Like, they dated a couple of times. I wouldn't sit there and say that they loved each other or had true romantic feelings for each other. It seemed like the energy I got was like, yeah, they they hung out a couple of times and dated and stuff like that, but it wasn't really like cause for tears and drowning yourself in alcohol. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting there trying to be cold hearted. I don't see it. So I'm like, okay. I'm more just along the lines of, Diane, you could really do better than like Robert. Not, You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna be a little mean. Just because. And granted, yes, I am straight and I like boobies, but you can do better than Robert. I'm just not there saying. And then not just that, but just like why would you wanna, cause I feel like part of her knew like Holly was always gonna have that hold on them. And what, you thought you was gonna be the person to sit there and change it? Like you want to sit there and fight? You want to fight Holly over Robert? Like, okay, you know what? I'm kind of done naming now. Anyway, I feel like that's pretty much about it. I am gonna do a live stream. I just have to sit there and figure out what time because I still have one more show to do. I'm guessing 9. Don't quote me on it, but that's the time I'm gonna sit there and try to shoot for. Like I said, Tuesdays really suck for me, but I didn't do it yesterday because my phone broke and I was in a shitty mood, so that was just not gonna happen. And I'm still not exactly in the best mood, but I'm a lot better now than I was yesterday. So I still want to do a live stream. I just have to adjust the time, at least for tonight. Anyway, if I missed anything, write in the comment section or come to the live stream. I'll be doing a live stream, I'm guessing 9, but we'll sit there and see. Don't quote me on it because I still got one more show to do, which is B&B, so it's like 18 minutes. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Laters. And live stream.